Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Fate Apocrypha on episode 15. This episode right here, it seems like things are just in a relaxed way, nothing much really going on. But if anything else, let's just get this started. At the beginning of the episode, it starts off with the rest of the Red Servants apparently asking Kotomine Shiro, etc., what happened to our masters, etc. And they seem like to me that they aren't too concerned about that, but we get to know what their wishes are. We have to it that Red Lancer, of course, Red Rider, yes. Achilles, if anything, wants to live as a hero. As for Red Archer, she wants to have all children to be loved. And as for Red Lancer, he just wants to wield the spear for his master and continue to be loyal. But he wants to have a rematch with Saber Black, which is Sig in the end, obviously. But after he takes care of Saber Black, he plans to burn the Greater Grail, which is something that they all do not like to see him do. But apparently, Kotomine Shiro decides to reveal his plan about salvation for mankind, which is something that I don't know how to take it as, because sometimes you want to give salvation to mankind, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Even certain miracles don't tend to grant that. Aside from that, we have to it that it switches to a scene with Sig, Sig, Ruler, Mordred, and then with her master Shishigo and the other members of the Igdoremia. Apparently, they're trying to figure out a plan on what to do next, etc. After talking about, Kotomine Shiro's wish for salvation of mankind. Although Shishigo does not believe that kind of idea, because sometimes the way how it works is he made an example about some guy who wants to be the greatest mage in the world, except his idea is to realize to kill every other mage alive, which is really ridiculous, honestly, and not even proper. While many are trying to figure out what to do with the plan, etc., they're trying to figure out what to do to try to take down Kotomine Shiro, because the way how he wants to do salvation for all of humanity is already is pretty how am I supposed to say it, out of control, or should I say not really good. And apparently they decided to make an alliance with Shishigo and Mordred for the time being until they take down Kotomine Shiro. And we get to see a scene between Archer of Black and Kalaz, which is Fiore's little brother. And we get to know that Fiore did have a little dog, but apparently what happened to it was used for experiment or sacrifice whatsoever, and when they buried it, she actually cried. But whatever the case may be, I don't know how's it gonna go, but Archer of Black is really concerned for Fiore, and that if she ever becomes a leader of Igdoremia, he'll be counting on Klaus to keep an eye on her. And of course they exchange a couple words here and there and nothing more. And there was a scene between Mordred and Jeanne d'Arc delivering a command spell to Shishigo. While Jeanne only gives out one, etc., she will not give out another, but she ends up giving two to Sig to make up for the command spells that he ends up losing in the end. Well, he ends up using. But apparently Mordred was really sour about this, while Ryder tells him to calm the hell down, and they were about to get into a literal physical fight, possibly. But whatever the case may be, that's not the case. But we also see to it that Jeanne d'Arc warns Sig not to use the last command spell, because certain miracles are not for free, and there's a price to pay. Even Shishigo realizes Jeanne telling this to Sig, it looks like Sig is really, really not going to listen to that. I mean, the way how this episode goes as well is we get to know Shishigo's backstory. I mean, we get to know that about his family making a deal to the devil and have Shishigo family rise to glory. And apparently we get to know that they were great necromancers, but apparently after giving great power and having glory, but there was a curse of a family that would end with the final descendant of the Shishigo family, which is Mordred's master. And we have to it that Mordred's like, why don't you just adopt a kid or something? Can't that work? He goes like, yeah, but I tried. They died because of me. Because I tried transferring my crest to a child's body, they end up dying and have some kind of toxic substance poisoning the body, and that's why he can't seem to how am I supposed to say it? Continue his family line or give out the crest, and it's all going to end with him if he does not figure out how to fix this. And Mordred remembers that now knows what Shishigo wants now. Like, he wants the Holy Grail to maybe have descendants or to get rid of the curse. But Shishigo also agrees with Jean's words by saying miracles are not meant to be for free. There's always got to be a price to pay. And that is pretty true. I mean, sometimes there might be some things that you may be granted, but later on there's always something you have to pay for it, especially the bill will always come. Eventually, Mordred, on the other hand, ends up having a little small talk here and have a little funny talk with Shishigo, and we have to it that Shishigo wants to move separately from them, and when the Servants of Red are fighting against Ruler and her merry comrades, we'll take the Holy Grail from them by then, while they are distracted. And Mordred actually likes the idea and was happy to see her master not giving up that easily. And we have to it that John was actually having some kind of conflict inside her mental mind, because it seems like to me she has a bad feeling about what's going to happen to Sig, and she's trying to wonder why am I so scared about him? What's this feeling inside me? And even Jean doesn't even know what these feelings are, and I'm thinking in my mind, oh please, you gotta be kidding me. And we have to it that she even talks to Letitia if it's her heart that was speaking to her. And we get to see a certain scene with Sig tending to the other homunculus, and of course let's see here. What's the guy's name? That big fatso whatsoever, which I don't remember his name because he doesn't seem too relevant to me to even remember his name, even though I saw him multiple times. But we have to it that he complains how the Holy Grail was all screwed up, while one of the homunculus ends up telling the truth in front of his face that he was a unworthy master, and his human-like behavior that caused him to lead Sig to be maybe killed or something is his own fault in a certain way, by saying you're just a catastrophe or something, etc. While the episode ends up with the Servants of Red talking to Caster of Red, I believe. No, I don't know. I don't know. But one thing for sure is this guy who has this guy whatsoever ends up talking to the Servants of Red, saying that he is working with Shiro because he finds it interesting about how Shiro wants the salvation of mankind, and he's not even sane. Even Kotomine ends up looking at the vessel of the Greater Grail by saying, I'm going to use everything I can to grant my wish. I waited so long for this day to come. I'm thinking in my mind, I don't know what you mean, man, but certain miracles are not meant to be for free, and that is something that was given out in this episode, and that's about it. Of course, in this episode, we all get to know what the wishes are for most of the servants, with the exception of possibly Mordred, unless her wish was mentioned a very long time ago, which I forgot, etc. But aside from that, Jean seems to be coming in terms with her feelings possibly for Sig, and while Shishigo's past about having to make a deal with the devil, and then later on you end up having to pay a certain price. Yeah, it's really gotta suck. But Shishigo's wish, we got to know that he wants descendants, but yeah. Aside from that, just a relaxing episode where things are about to get really, really ugly in terms of a real battle coming up soon. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So, alright? I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toodaloo!